What's up YouTube, it's me Sonii Beatz, and today I'm going to try to make a beat using only stock Ableton. For the drums, the melodies, and everything, I'm just going to try to use their instruments and the drums that are already built in here. I haven't really looked at any of the drums or any of these packs in here that much, only the Inspired by Nature, because it has some cool like VST things. But I'm going to try to stick to this, 'cause I think this all comes with the base Ableton, or the one before the suite, the like medium Ableton. I was going to try to do an hour, but I haven't messed with a lot of this stuff, so I'm just going to kind of mess around and see what happens. And for all the chords, I'm just going to click them in because I don't have enough ports to plug in my MIDI controller. I'm just going to try to come up with a simple chord progression so I can hear how stuff sounds while I'm altering the analog thing. Alright, so I just made that simple chord progression. I'm gonna mess around with this and try to come up with a sound that I like. Alright, so this right here, if you keep it flat, the pitch will stay consistent off rip like this. But if you bring it up a little bit, I'll just do the extreme so you can hear. It'll start high and shoot to this point. From here to here is where it's changing pitch, and you can move it to where it takes a longer time or a shorter time to change the pitch. So this, starting from the extreme, would sound like this. So it kind of sounds like a laser. And if you do it like this, it'll be even slower. You use that to like make a riser or something, or like some kind of intro type thing. But I think I'm gonna just bring it down, or I'll try it from low to. Yeah, kind of like that. Alright, so here, this is a filter, but I'm still kind of confused because it has attack, decay, release, and all that. But I don't really hear what it's doing to this. Like if you listen, yeah, nothing's really happening, so I'm not really sure. Maybe. Okay, so this is for the filter. It just determines how quick the filter reacts, depending on the frequency you choose. Yeah, I'm gonna just leave that alone. Alright, so the reason I used two different LFOs instead of keeping it on the same one, because I wanted to change the rate, and you can't change the specific rates on a single LFO. So you see this one's going 0.37 hertz and this one's 1. And the reason I didn't use the LFOs in here is because these are a little more confusing to me because they're like built in, you can actually see it moving. So I just like to have a outside LFO, but I'm pretty sure you could just do the same thing within this analog thing. Alright, so I'm gonna add another sound on top of it. I don't know, just see how it sounds overall. Yeah, for some reason, like I go to filter 2 and nothing comes out. Even if I turn this off, oh, maybe. Oh, okay. So it was because the amp was off. Make sure the amp is on if you want the sound to go through. Yeah, I think this is the one that's on right now. Oscillator, filter, amp, but you can do both oscillators, go through this filter, then this filter. So I'm just gonna leave it the way it is and continue to mess with this and try to make a decent sound. Alright, so I think I like the way that sounds. I think it's this that's causing the distortion. Actually, I'm gonna try a different saturator. Yeah, I think I'm gonna leave it with the low one. It sounds a little distorted. All right, so next I'm gonna just come up with a bass sound. This is gonna be a really simple beat because this is my first time making an entire beat with strictly Ableton. I'm gonna just keep it simple. All right, so yesterday I saw this, so I was messing with it. You can just make a bass. They have a whole bass instrument. It probably has some presets in there too. Sub bass, bass effects, percussive basses. I usually just like the sub bass. You can have strictly sub, or you can add any of these. I like to add the sign usually. You can add square, triangle, or the ramp. Yeah, I think I'm gonna just leave it like that. That sounds good to me. I didn't even change anything. It was pretty much set. I just added this shaper. So at the beginning of every note, it'll bring up the sine wave. I'm gonna unmap it for now, or remap. I'm gonna see what it sounds like with the sawtooth, the square, and the triangle, and see if I like the sine wave the best. Yeah, I think I'm gonna stick with the sine wave. Those all have too much tie-in. I don't know. I just don't like the way the other ones sound. Alright, so I added a little bit of the square also. Yeah, and here they call it pulse, but it only goes up a little bit, and you can hear the little high end of the bass. So now I think I'm gonna go try out the drums. This is my first time ever using any kind of Ableton drum kit. Yeah, so here we can just find the separate one shots. I think I'm gonna just mess with this one and try to make it hit a little harder. I'm gonna add a compressor to the chords in the bass so they'll duck when the kick's played. Alright, so I'm gonna mess with this kick. Try to make it sound a little better. Okay, so I'm gonna turn all these off and just kind of mess around and see what I like. There's a little pop in here that I don't like. I'm gonna see if I'm gonna just find another kick. Alright, I think I'm gonna just leave it like that. Let me see what it sounds like with the saturator on. So that'll be the kick. Now I'm gonna find a snare. I'm gonna just try this one. I'm gonna pitch these down to see what it sounds like. Yeah, I think I'm gonna leave it at -4. All right, so now I need to find a hi-hat and an open hat. That sounds pretty good. Actually, I'm gonna go with this one. When I'm making hi-hats, I like to go through and change the volume of all of them. Not every time, but I'll copy and paste it, and then I'll choose a couple to either increase the volume a little bit or turn it down a little bit on. I turn the threshold down so it would be affected more by the kick. I'm also going to make the attack a lot quicker and the release a lot quicker because I only really want it to dip for the peak of the kick. Also, I'd turn the look ahead on. I watched a video from White Sea Studio and he showed like I forget what it's called. It's a little graph thing that shows the actual format of the sounds that pass through it. And he showed compressors without look ahead, and the initial peak doesn't get caught by the compressor unless you have look ahead on. It catches everything right after it. That's a tip if you never use look ahead. Try it out. Now I think I'm gonna just add a melody. I'm gonna duplicate this too. Alright, so I'm gonna see what this is. I don't even know what a resonator is, honestly. I'm gonna just mess with it and see, cause I kind of like how it already sounds. I guess noise determines the pitch. Color is kind of how muffled it is. I don't know, it kind of sounds like if you lower it, it kind of has a ring to it, like one of those store bells. If you bring it up, the ring goes away. So maybe like harmonics or something like that determines how many. Let's see what this noise does. I'll mess with this. This kind of gives it like a resonance, so you can make like chords with it and it's not just a pluck. And if you bring it over left, it's a lot shorter. This is kind of like decay. You bring it left, short decay, long decay. And if you bring it up, it's like higher frequencies. You bring it down, it's lower frequencies. Let's see what happens if I change it. So you can change the sound here. It sounds like a paper tube. I think I'm gonna go with marimba. Also, if you're wondering what all this other stuff is, when you go here, you can have the save as default audio track or MIDI track. This is my default MIDI track. And I recently found out, I used to be in Logic, and it would always tell you what the chord was when you played it. In Ableton, they have MIDI monitor. I don't know how long they had it. I was in Chris Punsalon's stream, and Jendal TV said something about it, so shout out to him. So now you know what chord you're playing for sure. Like now I have a decent grasp of music theory. For the most part, I know which chords I'm playing, but this reassures you. I'm gonna just turn this off. I don't know. It's loud. think I'm gonna add a shaper. So it'll start like this, and then every half step it'll go up here. Alright, so I think I'm gonna just keep it simple and leave it at this. I'm gonna add some effects to probably add some reverb real quick. You can also add this for vintage. But I'd only add a little bit. If they got a dry wet, just turn it like 5% maybe. So that gives you that big crush sound effect. Okay, so you can use this right here to add vinyl crackle. It's under vinyl distortion. It's a little loud. I wish they would let you have more control. As you put 0.3 and it's already hella loud. But you can use that if you want that vinyl sound. For the mastering, they have a bunch of master presets in here under mixing and mastering. So I'm probably just gonna find one and mess around with it. Let's try master wide and warm and see what that sounds like. Yeah, so I just went with the master full chain. The vinyl crackle is still a little loud, especially after the master. So I just turned it down. You turn the density down a little bit. So that's pretty much it for how you can create a full beat using only stock sounds and plugins in Ableton. I'm also gonna show you, there's one plugin I used to use a lot. I should probably use it more. It's called Beat Repeat. And I like to use it on drums a lot. I use it on vocals a few times, but for the most part, it's really good on drums. It's kind of like that little thing on the SP404 that makes the beat kind of glitchy. Ableton has one, and I'm gonna just use the saved one, see how it sounds. It's one of the saved presets I had. So this is like a good thing to add if you want some variation. You can just come here and automate it to come on and off at certain parts. Like say I want it on just for this little section, just go like that, and you can turn it on right here. So it adds like slight little variation throughout. Every time it's different, I'm pretty sure. Alright, the last thing I'm gonna try to find is some, I think they have Ambience in one of these packs probably. You'd probably just search like rain or something. So that'll work. Alright, so if you download the packs also, I'm not sure if they include this in the non-suite versions, but hopefully they have at least one of these rain samples. If not, if you live somewhere where it rains a lot, then just go outside and record. I'm gonna just add it, make sure it's outside the drums. And I like to turn these samples really low, and then I like to add auto pan to it, but I turn it here and I make it really slow. So turn it down real low and slow. I didn't really do much arranging and I didn't add that many melodies. This is my first time using only Ableton for everything. So let me know what you think about the beat below. Let me know if you want me to try this again with like the wavetable or something else. Comment, like, and subscribe. If you have any suggestions, leave them down in the comment section below. And thanks for watching.